Hey guys, on today's episode we're going to be talking pests, animals, outfits and tools. Welcome to the LiberSeed Project. This is, I think it's episode 3 now, and I'll just show you all this wood that I've been chopping up. We had a huge pile here which is now gone, and this is my little wood chopping station. I absolutely love stacking wood. For me, this is so aesthetically pleasing to the eye. The sound of this wood just dropping, that's actually quite sticky. And cutting the wood is fairly easy with a chainsaw. You know me, I like everything mechanical, but processing wood, planks and tree stumps, etc. like this would just take far too long. And we're trying to empty out all of these. You can see here, like they're like sheds or attachments to barns, etc. And they're literally just all full of this wood, as you can see behind me. I need to empty them to utilize them, so I need to do something with the wood, and I can't just leave it here. It's a mess, and a lot of this wood has got nails in. So this chainsaw is an electric chainsaw. It's a Lithuanian brand. It's actually all made in China. But electric chainsaws are pretty good. I'm fairly impressed with it. Supposedly the maintenance on it is absolutely minimal, and I'm able to chop all this wood that you can see here. Cut it rather than chop. Chop is more of an axe thing. I'm able to cut all this on one charge. Then it takes about 2.5 hours to charge up a full battery. So I'm actually fairly pleased with it, and it's only a small. It's not a huge chainsaw, it's only small. I think it's 28 centimeters long, and it's got a self-oiling lubrication system to it. So it's really easy. You just tighten this bolt here, and then you're pretty much good to go. I bought these gloves, all the nails, and so far, normally I go through gloves like no tomorrow, but these have survived at least a week's worth of good hard work. And in terms of outfits, this is my favourite attire. Don't know if I can rotate that. Basically, it's wellies tucked into my jeans, and when I'm chainsawing, all of the sawdust is going through, and it used to go into my wellies when I was wearing shorts, and it was doing my absolute nutted to be walking around on little bits of wood. That's so frustrating. So I'll show you so this is the first barn that we emptied, which you saw, and then I've stacked all this wood. And this is the second from the outside there. The second shed, if you like. Don't know if you can view that. The roof is not fantastic. The roof is... Oh, there's a bird. Ooh. Just getting attacked by a bird. That's lovely. The roof is not great, however, it's kind of suitable to start stacking wood. So that's what we're going to do, and it's alright. I'm actually quite pleased with that. There's a few things that we found in here, which has been really nice. This you might recognise as an old-fashioned. I say old-fashioned because it's old, but they still use it today. Obviously this is standing up, this would be laying down, but that's where you put like pig feed or cow feed, etc. to feed animals. In here in the corner behind this wood, this obviously wasn't here, I put some bricks underneath these old doors, trying to elevate it from the ground, and I'm going to leave this. This is all pretty much dry. I've had to, because a lot of this wood is literally 15-20 years old, and the bark has just been left on. It's just been like tree logs. I've had to scrape the bark off because it's all just eaten away, full of bugs, earwigs, and etc. etc. In this corner, we found little. I'll show you some animal bones and hooves, etc. I've actually put them up here. We've got a spine. I don't know what sort of spine that is. It's probably, it looks if that's the full spine, it looks like the length of a turkey or something. And then we've got up here a horn, looks like a goat's horn, which is quite nice. I feel like the little souvenirs for working. And then over here, this is the pride and joy. I'd like to say it's a full set of horns, but it's not. It's hooves. They look like either goat. I reckon goat. Don't know. I haven't seen too many bony hooves before, but that goes up there to remind me of what we're working towards one day. So that's my outfit, and there's my chainsaw. We've managed to chop some more of this grass away, so now we're able to kind of walk around the house, which is nice. We're gonna put the sunnies down, but this is beautiful. I love all these lily pads, all of the frogs. I actually thought that frogs would just be jumping around the lily pads, but they're not, and they kind of just sit on the side making loads of noise. So over here, I should probably walk backwards. Over here is where they had all of these beehives. These are bee houses. And there used to be so many. It would be full consumption for like 15 people. And because my wife's grandfather used to grow them all. And so there was so many that it was able to sell some as well. We also found, oh, there's a slug. So underneath here, that cat that I showed you that came, the blackish, gingery cat, somehow he's always asking us for food. He's always coming to us, meow, meow, meow. And then we tend to feed it a little bit. And then I noticed yesterday that there's kittens running around. And so underneath these beehive houses, over here as well, there was like 4 or 5 cats. It was hard to keep track of them because they were just so scared. So skinny, absolutely anorexic, looked like they're on the last legs. So we went to the shop and bought some milk and some cat food. And now a slug is enjoying it. But we've got plenty more, so we thought we'll try and keep them alive. I'll try and get some footage of them later on when I can find them. So that has been quite interesting. That's the sound of these frogs again. I'm absolutely fascinated by this. It's crazy, it's crazy. Here, these poles, I believe, are cemented into the ground. And it used to be, partly where all this wood is coming from, it used to be some sort of barn or something, but this here, the ground seems to be raised. Oh, I can see a bit of wood there. So that seems to be the reason. I'm seeing my son in the corner of my eye. He's running around with his bow and arrow. He's got a 10-pound bow, which is, I think it's about 2.5, 3 kg draw weight. And you know, LiberSeed is about having a homestead, but it's also about building skills and having fun with it, you know. So it's bows and arrows is going to be quite important in the future, that you'll see as you follow. This is my current pest problem. So we've got frogs, we've got animal goats' hooves and turkey spines probably. We've also got loads of moles. I say loads, it could be one, I actually don't know. But this is potentially going to be rather frustrating, so we're going to have to hunt it. Now, I looked into how you hunt a mole, and actually it's an interesting story, but when I went and bought my scythe in the UK, the scythe was about £120, and it came with an extra blade for doing thicker bushes, etc. And the guy who, I'll try and find him and tag it or something, the guy who I bought it off of, he wrote a book called How to Catch a Mole. And I always thought to myself, oh, it might be quite useful one day. I don't know actually. I don't know if in the book it actually teaches how to catch a mole or not. He says it does. But I believe you just kind of stand around after you trampled on them and you wait to see some movement of the soil, of the earth. And then once you see some movement, then you're able to kind of catch it. You can push a shovel into the ground right behind where you see the movement, so you see the hole, the movement just next to it, and so you kind of trap it into that. Then you're able to just go and get it, really, do what you like with it. Kill it humanely is the goal. And yeah, so these, we had long grass, taller than me, and now we've got short grass but moles kind of digging up everything. It's rather annoying. But that's how homesteading works, isn't it? You solve problems. It's like your job. When you're working with your job, some problem comes up, you know, you can solve the problem, you can call a manager. I don't have a manager, so I've got to solve all these problems myself, and that's fine. Just around here is like fruit trees, apples, there's blackberries, red currants, black currants, cherry trees. There's all sorts of stuff here. There's mint. This is already here. I haven't planted any of this. This just looks like a tree. I don't know what that is. What is this? This is a... Anybody who can identify these trees, feel free to add it in the comment. But it's nice. It's nice. So there's the update for this morning. My current job is just emptying out those and processing the wood, those barns, and processing the wood. That almost looks delicious and ripe. Like, probably eat it soon. However, that doesn't really, yeah, that does look like a, I think that's two different trees there. This one here has got yellow. Is that supposed to be yellow? Yellow cherries, maybe? I think these trees didn't get looked after very well with all that grass, you know. I don't know if this is supposed to have fruit or not supposed to have fruit. It's hard to tell. But these trees, as you can see around me, just kind of dotted around. I noticed in one of my videos I was spinning very fast, so I apologise for that. Anyone know what this is? Like red stem. These leaves. I don't know. It's pretty gorgeous. It's pretty gorgeous. Nice scenery. This is the area that I showed you before. The land where it was all just grass that was over a metre, nearly over 2 meters tall. Now it's gone. It's gone. And over here is the hill towards the pond. So we're gonna have to tackle that via the scythe, I reckon. Because or if we get some really dry days, might be able to take the sit-on lawnmower up there. But I believe that the lawnmower is just going to slide off or slide into the pond, and that's going to be quite bad because that's 4K worth of equipment in the bin, or in the pond rather. Alright, thanks for watching. I will update you in a couple of days, see the progress. Thanks you. Bye bye.